I have a new idea. My name is Andrea Anderson. I'm a professional artist, and I have severe ADHD. So, when I went to make a painting tutorial to show how to paint this painting, it took like an hour. And I, as an ADHD person, can't even sit through an hour of me talking. So, I came up with a new idea. I am going to take and just do little bite-sized videos of how to paint specific things. So, come with me as I show you how to paint a sky. Okay, let's start with what you need to do. You need to first tape down your paper so that on all four sides, so that when it gets wet and then dries, it will dry flat, because when it gets wet, it's going to go bloop, and then when it dries, if it's taped down, it will dry flat. Then you're going to need a paintbrush. I use this one. It is a Princeton, let's see, 1/4 inch mini detailer dagger. When I look it up on Blick, it says dagger stripper or striper. I'm not sure how you'd say that. But I love this brush. I absolutely love this brush. And then I use Winsor & Newton watercolor paints. These are itty bitty. The ones I normally get are like this big, but these work. And you fill the wells of your chosen watercolor palette. There's fuzz in that. You fill the palette with those. I'm just going to be honest. Let's just be honest. I am a messy person, so my tray is messy. So it's got fuzz and stuff because I do not take care of it the way I should. But regardless, moving on. If you are a type A person, I probably will drive you crazy. The next thing you're going to want, I use toilet paper. You can also have Q-tips nearby for like fixing any kind of little details. I have a measuring cup of water because I don't have any mugs currently that are available to use, so we're using a measuring cup of water. So the first thing, I forgot to do is fill the wells with water. I'll do that. Technically, you should have them all filled with water ahead of time and let it soak for a while. Technically, you should never let them get dry, but here we are. It's who I am. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, if this was a large painting, I would get the sky wet first, but I am not, since it's small, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go straight to painting. I dip my paintbrush into the paint, and I'm going to brush it around like that. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. And then I'm going to start the top of my sky. And you always go darkest at the top of your sky, because as it gets down towards the horizon, it's going to get lighter. And that shows the curvature of the earth. If you do your whole sky dark, like this saturated of blue, it looks unrealistic. It doesn't look right. It looks more like a cartoon, and not like an animated movie like Up. Up is more realistic. It's gonna look more like SpongeBob, with quality wise. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it right. Not that SpongeBob isn't quality. What I'm saying is it's gonna look less realistic. If you want it to look more realistic, this is how you do it. So I added more water to bleed that out and less paint. And then I'm going to add more water to my brush. And then I'm going to come in here and paint down here. I'm going to make my sky very dramatic because I like dramatic skies. So another thing that I like, I'm leaving some little white spots for clouds. Another thing I like to point out to students is that that is too dark. Add some water, dab on my brush or toilet paper, and then bleed it out. There is no pure white in nature. And so I'm going to put some of the blue up into these clouds, just a teeny bit more blue, because, yeah, there's no pure white in nature. There's always reflected color from the sun bouncing off of things, etc. So I'm going to put some color into the clouds, try and decide exactly what I want to do. I'm having trouble focusing because of my ADHD today. I'm going to make it really a lot darker up there. I'm going to take a little bit of toilet paper, and I am going to dab out some spots that I'm going to maybe put in some sunset-y colors. Okay. Then I am going to, hopefully I can get this all done in this video. I'm going to add a little bit of Perylene Violet to my brush and into my blue. And now I've made a blue violet, and I'm going to come in and do streak colors for the clouds down at the horizon, and then shade, start going in and feathering it up into the clouds. And I am considering the design aspects and what would look good. You can't outline everything. So if you have bought one of these sketchbooks from me, I did not absolutely outline absolutely everything for you to do, because you need to have some thought of design for yourself, or else it's really difficult to do like a paint by number kind of thing and have it look right. And so you do need to have some creative problem solving when you do this, and think about what do you think would look good. I put water on that, but I put too much, so I dabbed it. I'm going to feather that out. You have to it's like when you're decorating a tree and you're like, where would the bulbs go? And you sit there eyeing it and trying them in different spots. That's what I'm doing. Okay, I'll put like a little dark there. It's a little too wet there. So like that. The top of that tree is getting paint on it. So I'm going to go in and go like this. They will be painted over with pigment. This is darker and heavier, so I'm not terribly worried. But yeah. Ooh, that's a little too dark. Feathering it. You always go light first, because you can always go darker later. I could leave it just like this, or I could keep going. And I'm going to keep going because it's who I am. I'm going to add a little bit more Perylene Violet to my brush. Let's see. Try to decide. And then I'm going to, it's all purple on my tray right now. You can see it right there at the top corner. I'm going to add some blue in and make a really nice stormy color. Ooh, I like that. Too much pigment on my brush, so I dabbed it. And then I'm going to go in and put some darker clouds down there at the horizon. And then feather some of that up. So you don't want dry brush where there's no water at all in your clouds, because not really. I mean, a little bit right here, but you like it to feather up. I always call them watercolor skies when you see this out in nature. Running out of time. So there's that. I'm going to put some right down there. Some dark. And it looks really dark right now. And this says, if something looks out of place, my professor said either add more of it or scrub it out. I am going to add more of it because I know that I'm going to make the rest of my painting a lot darker. So I'm going to make it really dark over there. And then you might, if I run out of time, I'll do another little video to show me putting in the lighting. Actually, I'll do that real quick. All I would do is I would go in once I was all done, and I would take a little bit, sorry I keep shaking, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red, make an orangey color, salmon-y color, and then I'd water it way down, and I'd come in, see that's too much paint, so I dabbed on my toilet paper, and just like that. And that might be still too much, so I'm going to go like this and lift it out just a little bit. I think I was going to add a little pink to it.